Let me say a pleasant good morning once again to our listeners via Classic Radio, whether you listen 105.5 or 105.9. Good morning. Those of you via GBN TV, the channels you're viewing, channel 711, channels 20. Good morning to you also. It's the mid-morning buzz. Let me say good morning to our social media audience as usual, who's always with us, whether it's via the Facebook page, the YouTube channels. Good morning, and welcome to the mid-morning buzz. I do have a guest with me this morning. Let me say good morning to my guest this morning. That's Christell Simmons. Good morning to you, Christell. How are you this morning? It's Simon. Let me get that. It's Simon. Simon. They always seem to mix their names up. Me and names. Forgive me. Good morning. Let me say good morning to you, Christell. Let's work at our first name this morning. It's probably better for me. Good morning to you. And how are you? How are you this morning?
Good morning to all the viewers and listeners of the GBN program. I am doing fine. It's Christell, and the surname is very not so common. It's Simeon.
Simeon,
Let's go with Christell.
Let's work with Christell.
That's good.
So how is things at Grenada? Of course, should I say Island Learning Grenada? How's things at there? Where the folks at in terms of the online stream and so forth? How has it been?
Okay, it has been good. We are just about to wrap up our 5th season of educating on Grenada's history, heritage, and culture. So this season we had our live streaming, which was focused on traditional mass and educating about the different traditional mass bands in Grenada. So that was streamed via our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Island Learning Grenada, as an educational part before we head into, of course, the traditional mass festival that's taking place on this Saturday coming at Victoria in St. Max. So we featured learning about the Shotney, the Apache Wild Indians, the Veco Mass, and also on our website we had about the Sailor Mass and Maypole and Jab Jab.
All right.
So lots of education and information out there for folks to learn more about the different traditional mass bands and their origin, how they do their performance and appearance, everything like that. Right. We provided in our live streaming that we did mostly throughout July.
Well, it's definitely interesting because, of course, having that information around this time of the year, it's carnival time. The carnival season is directly upon us in a matter of weeks. And, we have coming up this coming weekend, we're going to have of course, what you've been talking about, the traditional mass. And, that there's a lot of folks out there who may have been hearing about it, but never know the details, the history behind it. And you doing a program like that, suddenly I brought a little bit. How was the feedback about it? But anyway, how was the feedback about that particular program before we continue this morning?
The feedback has been really good. Those who have looked at the program have enjoyed the sharing of information because it has just been hours of information shared that most people didn't understand the origin of how the traditional mass bands was started and all the effort that goes into their appearance and performance. What you would see on Saturday coming, right? So what's the history behind of a Shotney band or a Veco band or the Apache Wild Indian band, right? So the feedback has been truly amazing, and I'm truly grateful for the support so far and those who have viewed the program.
All right. Now we have something. You have a plan of some interesting programs that will be coming up. Before I actually mention that, anything else that would surround in terms of the history of Grenada's carnival and so forth? Do you have any other program on that coming up before you get into your September programming? If I could ask any interesting program on that. I see you smiling. Like I'm not sure.
No, there's no program. We're gonna wrap up our live streaming Sunday coming. But of course, our information. There's information on Grenada's history, heritage, and culture, always available on our website. So that's www.islandlearning.gd, and folks could go there and learn about Kaiso. Where did the word Kaiso come from? Right, so there's lots of information there generally on Grenada's history, see the soca, see the calypso, see the parade of the bands and so forth, and then we'll pick up with education on it in September.
Okay, great, because there's always a rich history that surrounds Grenada's carnival and all, especially the traditional aspects of it. You know, there's great history, and learning about it could suddenly, especially for the youngsters out there these days that pay limited interest, or should I say, who have limited interest in it. They're more into the jab aspects of it, which is also part of the tradition. But it would certainly would love for them to go and learn about the traditional. Man, I wish we could see hundreds of individuals participating in the traditional aspects of carnival. That will certainly be a sight to see, and certainly hope, because back then that used to be what dominated. You understand? And we have lost it to the T-shirt and stuff now, but certainly hope that could come back and make a great impact in one of these years. It would really be phenomenal. Now, tell us about some of the upcoming programs that you'll be having in between after you wrap up this season and you get into the month of September when the season reopens for you, if I could say it in that way. Tell us about some of the upcoming topics or so forth that you will be focused on.
Okay, so 1 and 2 of the secondary school level, and then the upper primary school level too as well, would begin to be educated through the formal education system on Grenada's history. So that has been a long awaited that cultural enthusiasts and historians in Grenada have advocated for loudly that children be taught, their history, their culture, their heritage. That's important. So I want to applaud the government for that. I think that's a wonderful initiative. And definitely, as we head into the 50 years of independence, it isn't a much better time to begin to bridge the next 50 years with people being able.
Teaches a lot of individuals about the history of Grenada, and knowing that Grenada's history will be taught in school has always been an interest of mine to learn that. I mean, I didn't get much of that back then when I was going to school, and knowing that the youngsters today will get that aspect of learning a whole lot about Grenada's history, because we have an in-depth history. You understand?
Oh, yes.
We have a history of in-depth, a lot that we have adults ourselves may not have even known about, and we may have found out now that we are able to read and go on the internet and so forth and find information. But youngsters sometimes don't have the tendency to want to go that particular direction, to go in depth to find out. And being taught in school, I think it's a great initiative put out there by the government, and I certainly hope that the youngsters grab onto it. You understand? It's in simple terms of speaking, grab onto it and learn about our rich history, because there's so much of it that they don't know about that. And I certainly, when they get into it, and whoever the teachers or so forth who will be teaching, will go in depth and let them know what this little beautiful island of ours was all about back then.
Oh, it's very exciting. It's very exciting for me that history will be introduced into the schools from a business perspective. That is extremely good for my business to have that introduced. But I think it's very exciting as a whole that Grenadian children be taught their history, culture, and heritage, right? Grenada has a lot of unique elements, like the Grenada Revolution. We're the only English-speaking island in the Caribbean to have had a successful revolution. Yes, it only lasted 4 years, but that's a tremendous accomplishment for a small island of just 100,000 people, right? And that's only one aspect of our history that's unique to us, and it's definitely something that more people outside of Grenada know about the Grenada Revolution than people living on the island,
so
right?
True, so true.
So there is definitely need, and this year as we move into over 40 years of the Grenada Revolution, most people under the age of 40-45 don't know anything about the Grenada Revolution, such a historic event, and people don't know about the Grenada Revolution, what took place over the 4 years, what took place on March 13, 1979 or October 19, 1983. So it's a very exciting time, a period of enlightenment. I think for everyone, children, and I hope to adults too as well.
All right, and I'm certainly sure that, of course, your network will certainly be, of course, helping along that line in terms of having various topics that could even come be part of the whole concept of it, where after they have learned, they could probably come and get an extra bit in terms of information being shared. And I'm not certain, but I know for sure you will be incorporating that in your, of course, on your network, and of course Grenada Island Learning. So tell us what's coming up. Tell us what's coming up. What's coming up that is of interest to our viewers and listeners this morning, that could break the anticipation of what's within the month of September.
Okay, well, I want to talk about one thing in particular. So, beginning in September, we want to, Island Learning Grenada is looking to introduce classes. So, previously we were doing the classes via Zoom, but we are planning to move to an in-person location in St. George's in Grenada to be able to offer our classes on Grenada's history, heritage, and culture. So the classes would be for persons who are over the age of 16, of course, using the materials. There's a curriculum that the government of Grenada has put forward on history, as well as the textbook that's going to be released in September. We'll be planning to use those materials, but it's essentially for any Grenadian who is out of school and feel the need that they want to learn more about their history, heritage, and culture. The classes are targeting to those persons. So whether you're a Time TC student, whether you're an adult going to work and you feel that, hey, this is something that was never taught in school, this is an opportunity for me to learn more about Grenada's history, heritage, and culture, then you can attend the classes. The classes would be offered. It's a week, so it's 1 week duration, every evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So targeting people, of course, you don't work 2 hours after work from Monday to Friday. So that week will cover all the major topics of Grenada's history. So Fedon's Rebellion, Grenada Revolution, talk about our culture, oral traditions, folklores, and those materials will put together a nice 1 week learning package for folks to come to learn about their history, heritage, and culture. So that is the program that we're looking to introduce beginning in September. So around mid-September, folks can check out our Facebook page to know the exact date that we're starting. There's some logistics, I have to move into a place and everything like that, but definitely that would be coming. I feel that there's a need for more people to learn about the history, heritage, and culture, and since the materials is now available, why not extend that to those adults and people who are interested in learning about the history, heritage, and culture. So Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 1 week would be the duration of the classes, and it would be a quick snapshot into Grenada's history, heritage, and culture for adults. And there's a charge, of course, $40. So $40 for that 1 week of learning. And we give certificates at the end of the completion of the learning as a formal that you have been educated on Grenada's history, heritage, and culture. All
right, certainly interesting, and I certainly will try to make myself available for that, because I'm always someone interested in the history of Grenada, and getting an opportunity now that's there's part of the curriculum, and the syllabus that will be including it to learn, and the books and so forth. Certainly interesting, and it's a minimal cost, and I'm sure folks will certainly have the interest in it. And program like this is disseminating information that will alert them when it's available. And as you said, your folks can go to your webpage or your Facebook page and gain more information about it coming up. As you mentioned, also there's some logistics to work on in terms of the actual location is going to be. So that will be, of course, forthcoming up.
So yes, the actual location. Stay tuned to our all our social media and will update in terms of the actual location. But yes, I'm looking at a physical location in Grenada so that we could have the classes in person and persons could get that in-person learning experience for delivery of the sessions. Of course, if persons in the diaspora are interested in the classes, we do facilitate them via Zoom too as well, and that can be arranged with us. Persons can reach out to us on our WhatsApp number 535 4745.
Okay. I was just going to ask, okay, there are folks who like to get in contact the traditional way of doing things. Some folks, want to always go to the Facebook page and stuff to get information. So glad that you gave that number. Is there a number for if you want to contact locally here in Grenada? If there's there a number?
So that's it. That's the local number. So it's via WhatsApp. So you can just WhatsApp 473-535-4745. And if you're interested in any of the classes, and then of course once I get into Grenada, because I'm outside right now, then we'll have a local number people can call. But for now, that number is WhatsApp and it's available right now. People can just easy WhatsApp and we'll answer your questions right away.
All right, Christell, I want to thank you so much for sharing the information, and certainly hope when of course time draws a bit closer, we probably could do another program to reacquaint folks in terms of what's happening, and when you of course do the logistics as you mentioned, and they will know exactly where they can come out and be part of those particular classes. And you said it's just a duration of 1 week, and certainly a lot can happen in 1 week.
A crash course on Grenada's history, heritage, and culture. Those who want something more in-depth, of course, we can customize longer duration, but I think for the average Grenadian, just getting a crash course on their history, culture, and heritage in 1 week is probably sufficient to start off things.
All right. Christell, once again, thank you so much. All the best, and have yourself a great day. Thanks for being on the Mid-Morning Bus and sharing the information.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for the Mid-Morning Buzz for today. I want to thank Christell once again for sharing the information. And folks, get ready and get lots of information put into Grenada's history when of course, those classes do kick in within as she said, sometime around mid-September. Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for the Mid-Morning Buzz. Have yourself a great day, folks. Until then, join us again for another edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz. Christell, goodbye.